Skinny Hardaway Southern T back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, I greatly appreciate you sliding through. If this your first time, do your boy solid. Don't make it your last time. Hit that subscription button as well. We talk this good boxing, MMA, sports, parlays, predictions every single day, not just today. Today, we here with a boxing breakdown in EP. We got Edgar Berlanga versus Hamzah Sheeraz. This will be going down this weekend, July 12th. This is going to be the Zone Ring main event card, right? This is going to be in New York. No, it's not going to be outside of New York, but it is going to be in New York. This is basically a hometown coming fight for Edgar Berlanga. He's going to get a chance to represent in front of his home crowd, and he has this opportunity in a huge fight versus Hamzah Sheeraz, right? He has fought Canelo already. This most definitely is his biggest fight since the Canelo Alvarez fight. This fight right here is going to determine whether he will be getting another Canelo level, right, type fight. Because if you beat Hamzah Sheeraz, then you extend your name, you extend your legacy, and you probably end up getting a title shot after this. Or if not a title shot, you at least get another huge fight. You know what I mean? After this. But if you lose this fight, right, then that's most definitely going to set you back. It's not gonna ruin you forever, right? Because he's so young. Both these guys are extremely young. It's not going to ruin you forever, but it will set you back a little bit at this point if you're Edgar Berlanga or if you're Hamzah Sheeraz. This is going to be a good fight. I think this has the possibility to be a high volume kind of fight. This is one of these fights where man, you know, it could end in knockout because you have two big punchers, right? But we also know that sometimes when you get these two big punchers, it ends up going the distance, right? Because either the power cancels one another out and they have to box, or either because both guys are kind of a little timid. They're respectable of the power, on both sides. Neither one of these guys are extremely high volume punchers. Hamzah Sheeraz more so. Hamzah Sheeraz more so than Edward Berlanga for sure. Right. So I do hit Hamzah as far as being the more active fighter. Berlanga is a fighter. He kind of likes to pick his shots, right? Kind of like to find that opening, or he's not really great at creating the opening, right? But if the opening comes, Berlanga isn't afraid to go and attack it. Hamzah Sheeraz, again, kind of like Berlanga, he does create the opening in a different way. He creates his opening, with his ring movement and his patience. Like he kind of likes to wait for his opponents to punch and then punch after them, right? Or he likes to go first with his jab, right, and be first with his jab. And if he could be first with his jab all night and control, the pace of this fight, then there will be advantage Hamzah. Edward, sound check. Control, Yeah, okay. So advantage Edward Berlanga. Berlanga wants to make this a bit more of a dirty fight, a bit more of a brawl, a bit more of a street fight, right? He wants Hamzah to throw away the boxing skill, right, that he possesses and engage with him in the fight. If you're Hamzah in this fight, you want to keep this fight clean and as smooth as possible. I think from mid range and long range, Hamzah Sheeraz has the advantage in this fight. I think when it gets into closer quarters, that gives Edward Berlanga a much better chance to win. If Hamzah could stay on the outside, pick his shots, throw his jab, be quick, be fast, then I think Hamzah will be able to win this fight. I don't think Hamzah necessarily will knock Berlanga out because, I seen Berlanga take some of Canelo's best shots. And, he got up off the ground and he continued to fight. So something in my mind tells me that if Hamzah does get this knockout, it's going to be over a TKO kind of knockout because Berlanga couldn't get out the way of those Hamzah Sheeraz punches. Right. So if a stoppage comes, I think it will be later on the Hamzah Sheeraz side. If Berlanga gets his stoppage, it's going to be because he overwhelmed Hamzah Sheeraz. Hamzah Sheeraz did show that he could be overwhelmed a little bit in his fight with Carlos Adames, but Carlos Adames is a bit more tactical with his boxing approach than Edgar Berlanga. His way of getting inside, he's more tactical with it. Edgar Berlanga is going to come through the front door, where Carlos Adames can sneak through the side door. He can sneak through the front door. He can sneak around the back door. Right, Carlos Adames, sound check. Right, so I feel like Carlos Adames has more ways of getting his game off than Edgar Berlanga. I think it's going to be a good fight. If Edgar Berlanga can put that pressure on Hamzah, if Hamzah slows down, gets tired, then this could be a scenario where Edgar Berlanga is just too much for Hamzah. But what I see is I think Hamzah is going to use his skill. I think Hamzah is going to be patient. I think Hamzah is going to be on the outside using his jab, using his counter, and I think he'll be able to beat Edgar Berlanga on the cards, right? This is a fight again, right? If somebody's going to take this fight to not go the distance or take one of these guys but by knockout, I get it. But something in my mind tells me that, Hamzah Sheeraz won't be able to knock Berlanga out because, he took Canelo's best shot. And something tells me that Edgar Berlanga won't be able to knock Hamzah out because Hamzah isn't going to be there to be hit as much as he was against Adames, because Adames brought that up out of Hamzah Sheeraz. He brought that, those openings out of Hamzah, right? Did the moment get to Hamzah? He's been in that moment before. So now I think he handles this moment a little better than he handled that Carlos Adames moment. Carlos Adames is a smaller guy, right? But I think he's more tactical than Edward, so he was able to hit Hamzah in spots where I don't think Berlanga is going to be crafty enough to be able to get to Hamzah. I think Hamzah will be able to stay, on the outside, be long, use his jab against Edward. Edward's going to have to crowd Hamzah, right, if he wants to win. I think with trying to crowd Hamzah, Hamzah's going to be able to, catch him with shots from the outside. Would I be surprised if somebody got knocked out? No, I wouldn't be surprised. These are two knockout guys, but I personally don't necessarily feel like anybody's going to get, knocked out. If you're betting this, you always go with your move, right? What you think. I think the best play in this would be Hamzah Sheeraz on the money line, right? Just straight up on the money line. Don't take points. Don't take knockout. I think Hamzah Sheeraz money line is like -125, like that. Maybe you get some Edgar Berlanga money coming in later in the week, right? Because I see why people will want to go Edgar Berlanga by knockout, because they think he's going to, kind of just get tight and then walk Hamzah down, right? But I don't think that that's necessarily going to happen. Berlanga could get TKO'd, right, if he just tucks in and he takes too many punches trying to get on the inside of Hamzah. I think Hamzah will be able to, keep Edgar Berlanga honest with his power, and he's a little faster with his punches, a little more technical. I think I got Hamzah Sheeraz winning this fight over Edgar Berlanga, and I'm leaning decision, but I say, take the money line. The next fight I'm about to do is Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda. Both these fights have been on the same card, right? That's why you see Shakur Stevenson over there. But Hamzah Sheeraz on the money line, I may end up, maybe you want to take the over, right, as a safer bet. Something tells me this goes long, but I'm not going to knock you if you think that, it's going to end before the final bell. I just don't happen to think so, right? But I got Hamzah Sheeraz to win this fight on the money line. I'm not going to hold y'all up too much longer, man. Skinny Hardaway, Southern T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out.